Hi, I'm Phil, and I'm ready to show you my first arcade game using the Microsoft Makecode Arcade. And I've gone through a learning process. I'm not a game expert. I haven't done anything in this area for quite some time. And what I'd like to do is just walk through this project, which is captured in my overall mind map. So we'll just open it up. And let's have a look. So the objective, we'll just open these up now. My headings are objective. We'll have a look at the hardware I'm using, the software, and the overall results. So I'm inspired by Space Invaders, and rubbish is coming down. We have to put the rubbish into the right bins. So we've got 3 bins. We have to put bottles into the red bin, paper into the yellow, and food into the green bin. So we get points if we get it in the right bin, and we lose points and we lose a life for the game if we put the rubbish in the wrong bin. So the overall design is to use overlapping of sprites. So here we've got the red bin. If we put the bottle in the red bin, you can see we increase our score and we play a bit of nice music. And same with the paper and the food. So to achieve all this, I'm using a Raspberry Pi Zero and with the Adafruit Joy Bonnet. So these are connected together, and they're connected to a HDMI, only a small one from WaveShare, a 4-inch. So all of those host the software, and you need to put in special firmware from Adafruit so you could manage all of these games. The alternative is to use a handheld console, and it also works quite well on the KittenBot Meow. So we just look at the overall software. We'll go straight to the Microsoft Arcade and have a look at that. So here's the overall game. On the left, we've got a simulation, and on the right, we've got the code. So just overall, this is the full code. So I'll just look at the overall structure. On the left, we've got startup. We're maintaining the game just under that, and maintaining, we've got 2 containers there when we press the left or the right button. And the idea of that is we can steer the rubbish to the right bin. Now we make a choice every time that we recycle, that is in 1 second, we launch new rubbish. And we've got 5 different types of rubbish. So you can see that all the rubbish is going to be have a property of projectiles, and they'll come down at random from the top. And we have to make a decision. So if there is an overlap of food with a green bin, we get a reward. And with paper on a yellow bin, and similar. So let's have a look at these in detail before we actually start the simulator. So on the startup, you can see what's happening here. We're setting the background. We're splashing the version and the name of the program and what it does, and we're setting up 3 bins. Now these bins have been painted. I've painted these myself, and you go across to the paint program, go to the editor, and here is my yellow bin. So we'll go back to the editor. We'll just close that window, and we do the same with all 3 bins, and we position them on the screen, and we're setting the life of the game to 5. So the life cycle is repeated every second. So what's happening is that we make a choice, we set the random position on the horizontal for launching the rubbish anywhere across, and we can actually replace that with the screen width instead of 160. And we launch it from the top. We call a function choice, and we set the rubbish to position X and Y. In that choice, we then establish the type of projectile. So we've got hamburgers, we've got flowers, chicken, we've got paper, and a bottle. So they're the 5 choices, and they're all done here. They're all quite similar. So once we get a choice, we set it as a projectile, give it a bit of vertical velocity on its way down, and we set that to, that particular one is of kind food. So it's quite a good example of object-oriented programming where we can give objects properties. And the first 3 are all food. The paper one, the rubbish is of type paper, and the last one is of type bottle. Now, we can steer that. So just under that, we can go across to the containers, and these are events. So when I press the button, the left button, I could move the rubbish in one direction, or I could move it in the other direction. Okay, so when we get to the bottom and we start overlapping, we'll only just have a look at a couple of these. So we've got rewards and punishment. So on the left here, we've got the rewards, and on the right, just a couple of examples of losing points by putting the rubbish in the wrong bin. And all this depends on another event. That is when the food reaches the green bin, we destroy it with a halo, increase the score by 1, and play a nice little tune. And we do the opposite. We change the score. Over here, it should be changing the score by -1. I'll just change that, and we play another song. So we repeat that for each bin with good behavior and with bad behavior. And let's go over to the simulator and just see how that works. When we press button A, you can see that the rubbish is coming down. So I'm not going to do anything at the moment. So I can steer these across, and you can see the score. The scores. So without doing anything, it doesn't take long to lose points. And again, if we want to start again, we can steer that across. We want to put the food in the correct bin. Okay, so that's it for the time being, and stay tuned, and I'll show you this as a physical demonstration. So here's the real Adafruit bonnet, Joy bonnet, and it's in a plastic case with the Raspberry Pi Zero on the bottom, and we're going to connect the 2 ports, the video port HDMI and the USB one right next, as close to it, will be connected to a PC. So what I've got at the moment is a desktop configuration with the Zero connected to a 4-inch HDMI screen. And what I'm going to do is go to my PC, and I'm going to grab the latest version of Recycle. So we'll get a copy of that, and we go across, and you'll notice here that the whole configuration has been, see if we can find it. There it is, Arcade. So there's Arcade. All we have to do is download that, and it should be going across now. So if we look at our configuration here, we've got recycling, and what I'm going to do is look at the options that we've got. And I'm using the joystick to navigate down to the last configuration that I want. So it'll be recycling 7, and we'll start the game, and we're ready to go. So just press the button, and here we've got the fruit now coming down. The rubbish is coming down. Now I can also use the joystick to navigate the rubbish into the right bin. So we might start that over again and see if we can play it. Now what we should be doing is putting the we have to put the rubbish into the right bin. Now to do that we have to look at the allocation, and that is, the objective is to put bottles into the red bin, paper into the yellow bin, and food into the green bin. So let's have a go. So what we'll do now is start the game. So you can see that I'm not doing too well there. I might just try one at a time. We're going to try and put bottles into the red bin. So you can see the score is increasing, and food, there we go, we've got a new high score of 8.